February 15th, 1976, Ferndale, Michigan, a suburb north of Detroit. A 12-year-old boy named Mark Stebbins leaves his home to walk to a nearby American Legion Hall. It is a Sunday afternoon. He is going to watch a movie. He tells his mother he will be back soon. He never returns. 4 days later, his body is found in a parking lot in Southfield, another Oakland County suburb. He has been sexually assaulted, suffocated. His body has been carefully cleaned, dressed in fresh clothing, laid out. There are no signs of struggle where he was found. He was killed elsewhere, then placed there, displayed. This is the beginning of a series of murders that would terrorize Oakland County, Michigan for more than a year. For children abducted, held captive, killed, and left in public places, all within a 15-month period, all in the same county. The killer was methodical, careful, organized. He left little evidence. He was never caught. The case remains one of the most haunting unsolved child murder cases in American history. Mark Stebbins was the first known victim. He was 12 years old, a student, a normal boy. On February 15th, 1976, he left home around 12:30 p.m. He was seen entering the American Legion Hall. He watched a movie. Witnesses saw him leave around 2 p.m. He was last seen walking south on Woodward Avenue. Then he vanished. His parents reported him missing immediately. Police searched. Days passed. On February 19th, his body was found in a parking lot behind an office building in Southfield. He had been dead for at least a day, possibly longer. He had been held somewhere, kept alive for days, then killed. His body had been washed, his clothes fresh, clean, not the ones he was wearing when he disappeared. He was laid out, positioned carefully, almost respectfully. The killer had taken time. The killer had care. Police investigated. They interviewed witnesses, searched for evidence, followed leads. But there was little to go on. No witnesses to the abduction. No physical evidence at the dump site. No clear suspect. The case went cold quickly. Then, 10 months later, it happened again. On December 22nd, 1976, Jill Robinson, 12 years old, from Royal Oak, left home after an argument with her mother. She was upset. She took her bicycle and rode away. She was last seen near a hobby shop on Main Street. She never came home. Her body was found 4 days later, on December 26th, along the side of Interstate 75 in Troy. She had been shot in the face with a shotgun. Her body, like Mark's, had been cleaned. Her clothing was fresh, neatly arranged. Her bicycle was found nearby, also clean, positioned. The killer had kept her for days, then killed her, cleaned her, and left her body where it would be found quickly. Police began to see a connection. 2 children, both 12 years old, both from Oakland County, both held for days, both killed, both cleaned and carefully placed. But the methods were different. Mark was suffocated. Jill was shot. Was it the same killer or a coincidence? Then, on January 2nd, 1977, just a week after Jill's body was found, another child disappeared. Kristine Mihelich, 10 years old, from Berkeley. She walked to a local 7-Eleven to buy a magazine. She was last seen leaving the store at around 6:30 p.m. She vanished. 19 days later, on January 21st, her body was found in a ditch in Franklin Village, another Oakland County suburb. She had been suffocated, smothered. Her body had been washed, her clothing fresh and clean. She had been held for days, kept somewhere, then killed and dumped, like the others. The pattern was undeniable now. 3 children, all from Oakland County, all abducted in broad daylight or early evening, all held captive for days, all killed, all cleaned and carefully displayed. Panic spread across the county. Parents kept their children inside. Schools issued warnings. Police were under immense pressure. A task force was formed. The Oakland County Child Killer Task Force. Officers worked around the clock, but the killer was careful. He left no evidence. No witnesses saw the abductions. No one saw the children being held. No one saw the bodies being placed. Then, on March 16th, 1977, Timothy King, 11 years old, from Birmingham, left home to walk to a nearby drugstore. He wanted to buy candy. His parents told him to come straight back. He was last seen leaving the Hunter Maple Pharmacy around 8:30 p.m., carrying a skateboard. He never made it home. His parents reported him missing immediately. The community was on high alert. Everyone knew about the previous abductions. Everyone feared the worst. 6 days later, on March 22nd, Timothy's body was found in a ditch in Livonia, just outside Oakland County. He had been suffocated, smothered. His body had been washed. His clothing was clean, neatly arranged. But there was something else. His stomach contained fried chicken and chips. He had been fed before he was killed. He had been held, cared for in a strange way, then murdered, just like the others. The investigation intensified. The task force grew. Hundreds of officers, thousands of tips, polygraph tests, surveillance. Every known sex offender in the area was investigated. Every lead was followed, but nothing broke the case. The killer was meticulous. He left no fingerprints, no fibers, no DNA, or at least none that could be identified with the technology available at the time. Witnesses came forward. Some reported seeing a man in a blue AMC Gremlin near where Timothy was last seen. Others reported seeing children in cars with adult men in the days before the bodies were found. Composite sketches were created, but they were vague, inconsistent. The descriptions did not match. The leads went nowhere. One witness, a woman, reported seeing a boy matching Timothy's description getting into a car with a man on the night he disappeared. She described the man as older, with long hair, but she could not identify him. The car, a blue Gremlin, became a focus. Police searched for blue Gremlins in the area. Hundreds were registered. All were investigated. None led to an arrest. The case went cold. After Timothy King's death in March 1977, the murders stopped. No more children were abducted. No more bodies were found. The killer, whoever he was, simply vanished. Police theorized. Had he died, been imprisoned for another crime, moved away, or had he just stopped, satisfied, or afraid of being caught? Families were left devastated. Mark Stebbins' mother died years later, never knowing who killed her son. Jill Robinson's family never recovered. Kristine Mihelich's parents spent decades searching for answers. Timothy King's family became advocates, pushing for investigations, demanding justice. But justice never came. Over the decades, suspects emerged. Men were investigated, polygraphed, cleared. In the 2000s, advances in DNA technology offered hope. Evidence from the crimes was retested, but the samples were degraded, contaminated. No clear profile could be created. The evidence was old, stored improperly in some cases. The technology of the 1970s was insufficient, and by the time better technology existed, the evidence was too damaged. In 2012, a man named Christopher Busch became a focus. He was a convicted sex offender who had lived in Oakland County in the 1970s. He had died in 1978, a year after the murders stopped. He had committed suicide, or so it was ruled. Investigators found that Busch had been questioned in 1977, shortly after Timothy King's death. He had been released. Later, polygraph results suggested deception. His car matched the description of the blue Gremlin. Witnesses placed him near the areas where the children disappeared. Busch's family confirmed he had a history of abusing children. He had been arrested multiple times, but he was always released, always protected, some said, by his family's wealth and connections. His father was a General Motors executive. The family had influence. Some investigators believe Busch was the Oakland County Child Killer, that he was protected. That evidence was suppressed, but no definitive proof exists. Busch is dead. He cannot be questioned. He cannot be charged. Other suspects have been investigated. Arch Sloan, a convicted pedophile who died in prison. He claimed, before his death, to have information about the killings. He said he was part of a pedophile ring, that multiple men were involved, that the children were passed between them, abused, then killed. He named names, but his claims could not be verified. He was a known liar. His statements were inconsistent. Some investigators believed him, others did not. In recent years, the case has been re-examined again. The King family, particularly Timothy's sister, has pushed for new investigations. She has accused covering up evidence, of protecting suspects, of failing to pursue leads. She has filed lawsuits, demanding access to files. Some files have been released. They show inconsistencies, missed opportunities, questionable decisions, but they do not provide a clear answer. They do not name the killer. The case remains officially unsolved. The Oakland County Child Killer has never been identified, never arrested, never charged. For children are dead. For families have waited nearly 50 years for justice, and the waiting continues. The question remains, who was the Oakland County Child Killer? Was it one man, or more than one? Was it Christopher Busch, the convicted sex offender who died in 1978? Was it someone else, someone still alive, living quietly, carrying the secret? Was their cover-up a conspiracy, powerful people protecting the guilty? Or was it simply a case of limited technology, missed evidence, bad luck? The children are remembered. Mark Stebbins, who left home to watch a movie and never returned. Jill Robinson, who rode her bicycle away after an argument and was never seen alive again. Kristine Mihelich, who walked to a store for a magazine and vanished. Timothy King, who went to buy candy and never made it home. For children, for lives, for families destroyed. Oakland County has changed. The suburbs have grown. The communities have evolved. But the memory remains. Older residents remember the fear, the warnings, the locked doors, the children kept inside. They remember the task force, the news reports, composite sketches. They remember waiting for the next abduction, the next body. And they remember the relief when the murder stopped, but also the frustration, because the killer was never caught. The case has become a symbol of failure, of injustice, of powerful people escaping accountability, of children, vulnerable, unprotected, of a system that could not, or would not, find the truth. The families have never received closure, never received answers, never received justice. The story of the Oakland County Child Killer does not end here, because it has not ended. The case is still open. Investigators still review files. DNA is still tested, though the samples are poor. Genealogy databases are searched. Tips still come in, though less frequently now. And the families still hope, still push, still demand. But hope fades. The killer, if alive, would be elderly now. Most likely, he is dead. The witnesses are aging, their memories fading. The evidence is degraded. The trail is cold. The window for justice is closing. And so, the Oakland County Child Killer remains. A name without a face. A shadow. A monster who took 4 children, held them, killed them, and disappeared. Who was never held accountable. Who may have died peacefully, quietly, unpunished. While the families he destroyed still wait, still grieve, still wonder. Mark, Jill, Kristine, Timothy. For names, for children, for unsolved murders. And the silence, after nearly 50 years, is unbearable.